Hey guys, KCTCG here. Today I'm with Sebs,
What's up, guys?
and we'll actually be talking about the market today. Just, how to deal with it, how to cope with it, and how to understand it. So, first and foremost, many of us as trading card game players, we tend to use, in my opinion at least, one resource, which is TCG Player when we buy when we buy our cards or when we look up prices, right?
Yeah.
So, the thing about TCG Player is that it's honestly just a trading card or collector's version of eBay. It's just another platform which a lot of vendors or sellers, backpackers, LGSs, all of that stuff, uh, they post their wares online and then people will buy it online at their own convenience. And the thing about that is, well, if cards are being bought, well, everyone will see it, including sellers, buyers, and they'll see like, oh, the last one, for example, sold at 20 bucks. So this card is currently being sold for 20 bucks, meaning anything valued would equal 20 bucks or higher, based just basic supply and demand.
Yeah.
But more recently than ever, with a lot of TCGs, a lot of people have been very frugal or stingy.
I mean, yeah, you know how card players are. I mean, everybody likes to save money, but I
I mean,
mean,
this is
yeah.
beyond like trying to save a buck or two. This is literally people saying like, "Oh, it's not worth that much. Why are you selling it for that much?" Like that is what bothers me the most, to be honest.
Of course.
And as I want to say a business or an owner of an LGS, honestly,
Yeah.
it really cuts into, profit margins and just the ability to stay afloat.
Of course.
And a lot
Yeah.
of people just don't see that, honestly.
No, from the outsider perspective, like, okay, like to me, technically, like I would be
An
like a
outsider.
backpacker, outsider backpacker. Like there's stuff that like, yeah, I'll get rid of, but like mainly to like friends and like people that I know.
Yeah,
But for you, it's like you have to deal with a lot of customers on a regular basis. And I'm sure, yeah, I watch MCO 40. I've heard the complaints. I've heard I've heard other vendors. It's the one thing like dealing with customers is like it's cool, but it's also a customer to vendor relationship that a lot of these like newcomers or people who are new to card games, they try and think like, oh, but it's not worth that price. It's a piece of plastic. It's a piece of cardboard. It's like,
yeah.
well, yeah, but you also need four of this copy or five of this copy or three of the copy. And you also know that it's gonna have the highest chance of success. So it's like that a lot of that will dictate a card's price and quantity, supply, demand. Sometimes for our games, like I mean shit in Yu-Gi-Oh, they got Starlight Rares. How many Starlight Rares come in a case? Like maybe one, if that. And like in a master case, it's like maybe like a couple,
I mean, I think
not
the
even that much.
ratio that has been confirmed is one in every 24 boxes. That's the
Sheesh.
estimated ratio.
Exactly.
And in the Yu-Gi-Oh case, at least, you only get 12 boxes in a case. Meaning, yeah, in a master, you'll get maybe one Starlight. Because who knows, maybe you get the master that's cooked.
Exactly, yeah. Or you'll pull the Starlight that you don't give a shit about. It'll be
Yep.
like the one, I don't know, random like witch mage, I don't know, some bullshit
So
Starlight.
so
You're gonna be
here
like, "Oh, I
here
don't need
lies
this."
the thing now, to I guess to consumers now, right? So
Mm.
if you're a consumer, and I'll also go through the mindset of a vendor or a seller. So
Right,
if
right. Of
you're a consumer, you want to get the most bang for your buck. If you're casual,
course.
right?
Of course.
And most of these players will scrounge high and low for their deal, for their price. They don't care who they buy from as long as this person giving them the price gives them the lowest number.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this type of consumer, at least me as a seller, I call you Randies, I call you randoms. I don't bother remembering your name, honestly, because there's no loyalty. You come to me asking for cards, and you expect me, and that's the thing, expect me to give you a deal.
Yeah.
That is where it hits wrong because
Right.
you have no reason to expect a deal from someone when they're selling you a card.
No, of course not.
It is 100% the seller's uh the seller's power to offer a deal to you, even if it's $1, you should feel gratified, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're not gonna buy their card, it just means that they're gonna move it somewhere else and sell it somewhere else. They don't need to sell it to you. You were trying to hunt for the lowest price. They don't have to give you
Yeah.
the lowest price. Out of convenience, if they really need to, then you can take advantage of their situation and you can buy their card for cheap. But that's one thing. And as a seller, once again, you are random. To me, I have no reason to remember your name. I shouldn't care. I don't care. And if you want to build a relation to start racking up these, I want to say discounts, or I guess you would say favor, right?
Right. I
Like
mean, like, yeah, like the homie discount, I guess, at
pretty
that point.
much, like you've been
Yeah.
such a loyal customer, you come to me always, you don't question my prices. Yeah, I'll knock off a few bucks at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But if you come to me and you start penny pinching me, well, guess what? I'm gonna penny pinch you back because
Hmm.
preach what you preach what you practice, right?
Yeah. Practice what you preach. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
And that's
They-
people that they don't understand this. Like they expect vendors to bend over for them. They expect
Yeah.
LGS to bend over for them, but they themselves will not bend over backwards at all because just think about it this way, right, guys? Like if you want to buy a card, put yourself in your seller's shoes. If you are telling them to sell you, let's say, I think a good card right now would be Baron for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
Just looking it up on TCG Player right now. Uh, yeah,
What's the
Baron
price on a
DeFleur
Baron?
is currently sitting at $94, and that is a person selling it for near mint first edition. They are a store, a certified hobby shop by TCG Player. So let's say 95, right? Now,
Right.
but the next one's at 99, and then once again 99 goes to $100. So you have quite a little bit of spread, but let's just say it's about $100. Like let's bar the
Make
guy
it
selling
even.
it for 95, yeah.
Right.
So if you expect someone to sell for less than $100, you need to go into their shoes. You need to ask yourself, I'm telling this man to sell me this car for let's say $90.
Hmm.
Could I do the same thing if it was the other way?
Right.
They
Right.
don't
I
know
get
who
you.
I am, and I don't know who they are, and they're coming up to me asking me for a car for $90.
Yeah.
Am I able to say yes? And they're like, this example is literally only $10. But I've seen people say like, "Oh, this card's worth 500." Nah, nah, nah. It's worth 230 or 250. Sell it to me for
Right.
that price. Like,
Right.
could you yourself do that? Like, that is the
Mm.
biggest question. Because if you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Then sure, maybe let's look at the seller if they're willing to do it or not. But if you yourself can't even say, "Oh yeah, I'll willingly do it to anybody," what makes you think you deserve the same?
Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
There should be like no reason for you to walk up to a vendor and be like, "Oh, but it should be this price." It's like, well, it doesn't. It can be any price. You know,
correct.
it's you know what they say. It's like it's worth what a fool is willing to pay for it. It's just
Hmm.
it's real. Like if I tell you a card is worth $50 and you're like, yeah, but this card doesn't win, and this card is bad. All right, whatever. Well, it's still $50. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. You know.
Correct.
Um,
And that's the thing too. Like another thing is that a lot of people aren't willing to, do this mental breakdown, mental math. All
uh,
they want to do is just think that they have
yeah.
the upper hand. They think that the vendor has to do what they say, and that's where they're fools. Like that's where they're wrong. We don't
They think.
have to do anything. You have to go to us to buy cards.
Yeah. Try and pull the customer's always right deal, and it's like, yeah, this isn't a chain,
Sorry,
bro. Like,
we're
yeah,
not a
I'm not a
store that will follow that rule.
not a global conglomerate that can just fucking. All right, cool. I'll take an L. Like, no big deal.
Like
Yeah, this does this.
realistically, stores that follow that motto realistically need to uh listen to customers usually because there's so much public interest in what these stores do, so that hey, if this store's fucking up, well, guess what? We're not gonna shop there, and that echoes to everybody. But your
Yeah.
LGS is gonna look at you going, sure, go to your next LGS and see if they have it, or go online. Because if you want to pay the convenience fee of buying it at your LGS, physical copy, then pay an extra dollar or two. But if you want to be like, oh no, I want to save the money, then buy it on the lowest website you saw it on. Don't complain that
Yeah.
I don't want to wait the 3 weeks or 2 weeks it's gonna take to get to you. I don't want to risk the card being damaged. Like that's what you get when you're buying a card in person. You are paying for convenience. You're paying for uh safety, knowing that hey, I'm not worried that the card's gonna get damaged on the way here. It's already here. I'm getting it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing a lot of people don't think about either, because it's like, oh, like, I mean, I've been at the booth, I've heard it, I've done it myself to be like, hey, well, TCG player says it's this price, and then it's like, obviously, I know people get the grow and they're like, oh, like, are you serious? It's like, yeah, TCG player is that price plus your shipping plus the time that you wait.
And also, don't forget, a lot of people don't charge tax.
That too.
TCG player auto charges tax when you buy it from them.
Yep, yep. So it's like to me, from buying in person, I obviously know that okay, you know what, I'll probably spend a little bit more, but whatever, I have it in hand now. I don't have to worry about waiting 2 3 weeks. I don't have to. It can be a last minute thing. And I know certain. I think what was it? Not too long ago, I believe Yu-Gi-Oh. I think they got capped at like their like events where the
Hmm.
vendors could only sell for like a certain price, right?
Yep.
And it's like even then, it's right in front of you. Like you're gonna go to an event and not try and pick up a card that you need. It's like you might as well go get what you need to get and then not complain about it. Like if you wanted to wait that long until you needed the card, or let's say, you know, speaking of the market in general, it's like if you see a card and you're like, oh, I might need this card, but I'm gonna wait. Okay, well, when you wait, the next week, who's to determine if something doesn't get spoiled or revealed? It's like, oh, it makes that card 10 times better. Now that 10-cent card or that $1 card is now a $5, $10 card. And it's like, oh shit, like I messed up. Oh, let me go to my local and let me see what they have it for. And then some people obviously, try and cheat locals or try and cheat vendors to be like, hey, uh last week, it was this price, or yesterday it was this price, and it's like, okay, but you obviously saw the price today. You know what the card is worth.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, right? Like that leads us to our next topic. So, if a card that you want spikes up in price, well, there's a reason it spiked up in price. Either A, people want it, it's the new flavor of the month, something got revealed for it, it's spoiled, and people are trying to quote unquote beat the market.
Yeah.
Um, I can't tell you how many times I heard the story. Oh, but it was like $5 last week. Why is it $10 now? Well, why didn't you buy it last week then?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to say or cope that a card's gonna drop more in price, I'm sorry, but more than likely before, people want to be like, oh, it's always happened where a card drops. I have had plenty of cards that one week sold for $5, next week 25, third week
Yeah.
$40, and I can just look at you going, you're the idiot that didn't buy it. Now it's $40. Cough it up or leave.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna
Pretty
spend
much.
time trying to haggle with you when you're not willing to spend even five the week prior.
Yeah. Now they're looking at you to be like, oh, well, it's 40. Can you do 20? It's like, no, like, the price of the card. It's online or you can see it. Like, why are you bothering?
And that's another thing too, right? Like people, most usually this lies to consumers because they have zero understanding of this. Understand what supply and demand mean. If demand is high and supply is high, supply is meeting the demand, a card will not shoot up. The most it'll go up, if it does, is a dollar, maybe two.
Yeah.
That is basic supply and demand. However,
Yeah.
if supply is low and demand is high, guess what? The card's gonna spike. the card will
Yeah.
go from a $5 card to a $40 card within minutes if you don't wisen up. And that's the same thing otherwise. If demand is low but supply is high, guess what? The card tanks.
Yeah.
And people need to understand what influences this. So, from my point of view, right, my perspective as a vendor and as an LGS, I will always see this. People will not pre-order product; they'll pre-order very little, expecting me to open a lot, expecting people to have a lot the day of.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't work for you. I don't need to listen to what you want. I do what I
Right.
want. If it so happens that it coincides with what you want, then you lucked out. But other than that, well, good luck, dude. You're not getting anything. You're not gonna, you know, get a card for cheap because you think supply is high. Maybe I opened only one case and now you only get one case worth.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, right? Because a lot of people don't understand this. They just think that the world revolves around them so that they can live their cheap little lives buying, cars that they think are worth $5 each time.
Oh, of course. We're all our own main characters, you know. They just want to save a buck. But still, like that's one thing for sure. Like if you want to quote unquote like beat the market, or like again, we've all been in that situation where it's like, oh, I should have bought this card. Yeah, well, you should have, but you didn't. So if you want to think
Shoulda,
about
woulda,
it for
coulda,
next
now pay
time,
the
right? Yeah,
price.
should exactly shoulda, woulda, coulda. So it's like if you want to buy, like say you see another card that you think, okay, maybe this card might go up in price, you know. Once people start getting into it and they see like the taste of it, or even like once they think like, oh, I can make money off of it, like cool. But again, not everything makes you money, and sometimes the stuff that you buy might go down in value. You know, some people buy pre-orders and oh shit, this card that was $50 in pre-order because it's supposed to be so busted. Okay, well, it's been a month now that you guys have been playing your game, and now the card has dropped to $20. It's like, all right, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And I think too many people take that personally instead of looking at it like, okay, money comes and goes. Where, I mean,
I mean, let's be
realistically,
honest.
the
Some
money's gonna
people
come and
don't
go.
even have that real that luxury of saying money comes and goes. Money just
It's
goes
true.
for them. It doesn't come. And I'll be honest, if you can't afford your hobby, if you can't afford a card game, don't play it.
Yeah, no, that I think that might be the biggest, for sure, the biggest thing of this like episode today. Like, of course, like you know, we encourage people to play, but hey, if you really can't afford it, don't do it. Because now,
Yeah.
like, you're gonna go into a hole to be like, oh, but I have a fully SP or a fully max rarity deck. Like, all right, cool, you're down $500 or whatever, you know, for whatever game you play. Now it's like, oh, my cards got banned, or I don't like this, or, you know, insert other reason. Now you're just wasted money. And then you feel bad because you go back to the vendor to think, oh, well, I can get my money back. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, you can sell it to maybe somebody else and then hopefully get your money back, but you're not getting full value for what you probably paid for. And that's part of, you know, buying and selling, part of playing card games.
And that's another thing too, right? Uh, Vendors, LGSs have money or have overhead. They need to,
Hmm.
pay rent. They need to pay their employees. They need to feed themselves. They need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
So you can expect an LGS, a vendor, to buy what you're trying to sell them
Yeah.
for full price. They are going to buy it at a discounted price. And not only
Yeah.
do they need to sell it for market, they also need to account in how much this card is gonna cost for holding it there. Each
Yeah.
day, like I will not be like I'll not try to exaggerate it, but it will literally count to the second, every minute, every hour, every second this card doesn't sell. It's eating money because it's taking up space. It's sitting there. It's not moving. It's not selling, and
Right.
it's it is taking into account when people buy it. So let's say I know a card will sell for $100,
Hmm.
but it's gonna take me weeks, maybe months to sell it for 100, if it even hits 100. So I need
Yeah.
to account in for the for card value dropping because over time cards don't sell, they depreciate because people want to keep trying to sell it. So if the card value keeps tanking, I'm gonna take a hit if I buy it for a certain price, maybe $70, $80.
Yep.
Like if I buy it for 50, it seems like I'm stabbing you in the butt and you're not liking it, but I'm sorry. If I buy it for 50 and I know it's not gonna move until a month or two later, guess what? A month or two later, the card's gonna drop to 70, $80. If I bought
Yeah.
it for 70, 80, which you wanted, or maybe even higher, I make nothing off of it. I broke even.
Yeah.
And you want to say break even? I say I lost money because I could have just spent that $100 instead to pay rent.
Yeah. That too.
And realistically, right, if I sold it for 80, I lost $20.
Yeah.
Like if I bought it back for 50, then cool. I made 20. But
Yeah.
you are salty that I only bought it for $50. Like, you have to look at everything going, okay, the pros and cons of selling it, why is it so low? Are they just being an asshole to me, or is it for a real reason? Like,
Well, yeah.
a lot of things need to be looked at, but once again, people don't care. They just want their quick buck. And speaking of quick bucks, right? Like, this leads us to our next topic, which is backpackers.
Hmm.
So, you said it yourself, Sebs, you are one, but I know you don't try to hurt your LGS. Matter of fact, you
No.
try to encourage people to buy from LGSs.
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
And realistically, you only sell to your friends. Like you said,
Yeah.
you sell to homies. But what a lot of people don't do or care is that they don't support their LGSs. They don't buy from their LGSs.
No, definitely
So
not.
the difference between a backpacker and an LGS, the backpacker ultimately only cares about themselves. End of the day,
Yeah.
they don't care if the community falls. They'll go to someone else. They'll go somewhere else. They don't care. They are traveling merchants, so to speak. They
Pretty much.
can pick up shop one day and move somewhere else. They don't care. Versus
Yeah.
an LGS, a vendor, they have a location that they can say, meet me at this time, and it'll be in a shop or a building. It'll be completely open to the public. People walk in and out, no need for appointments, and that is an LGS. They walk in and out of a shop to buy cards or to buy their goods.
Right.
And these LGSs, they have the following requirements, and this is also requirements that a lot of the distributors will ask for. They'll ask for, show me a monthly bill for your electricity or your water. Show me a that's honestly annoying, by the way, that they ask for that.
Right. Right.
Show
Of course.
me the I guess contract for renting, like how long you're gonna be in the building.
Yeah.
Show me how many like some people even ask because they want to be an OTS, an official tournament store as well as an LGS. Show me how many people join your tournaments or come here to play.
Yeah.
And can your local drug dealer give you these things? No, they can't. Can your local guy that sells you a card for, $5 above market or below market to make their quick buck, can they do that? No. And will they at the end of the day care about you if, you know, you want to play or you're happy or something, you want to, go to a place to celebrate? They don't care who you are.
No.
Like, end of the day, if the community dies, they'll just pick up and leave. But
Yeah.
who will care? And LGS will care. They will look at you and say, what can we do to make you guys stay? What can we do to make you guys happier? And if it's in our power, we would like to try to do that because we want the community to strive, because we want the location for people to play, for people to be happy and play their card game. We want to grow community. We don't want to just, like, yes, the ultimate goal for a shop is to make money, but the other thing is we want a community because more than likely the people that open the LGS also play.
Yeah.
So they want to have fun. They want to, grow their community and, grow their population of card game players or, whatever floats their boat. And they want people to be there. But a lot of people, a lot of cheapskates, a lot of, broke people, they don't care. I mean, we're laughing honestly, but we're telling the
I
truth
mean,
because
it's true. Yeah, yeah.
like these
'Cause
people, they don't want to, support their LGS by paying whatever the LGS says. They said, "Oh,
no,
LGS is 20, but this guy in the corner says 15." I'm buying from the guy for 15. Fuck my LGS.
right.
And guess what? Because their LGS is not selling cards, they're not doing well. Guess what? They shut down. And when they
Yeah,
shut down, you don't have a place to play. You don't have a local tournament scene. And
no.
if that dies and you can't supplement your fix to play locally, you can only, play at your friend's house or you can't gather up in a mass community to find new people, guess what? Eventually you're going to lose interest in the game. And when you lose interest in the game, guess what? That $5 you saved killed the community.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing that people really don't think about. Where it's like, you know, a lot of people throw that term out. Support your LGS. I mean, same thing in like the skateboarding community, right? We tell people, support your local skate shop, where
Mm-hmm.
your local whatever store it is for whatever hobby it is you do, they're only in business because, like how you said, Ken, they have an interest and they actually care. You know, a lot of people might not see it that way because if they're gonna go and buy cards, I mean, the prices are gonna be again fairly standard, maybe a little bit more expensive. But also, you know what that money's going towards? It's going towards your LGS, towards the employees, towards them keeping the lights on, towards them giving you a spot for you to hang out and do your actual hobby, something that you really enjoy to do. And if you don't look at it that way, I mean, maybe there's probably not going to be any LGSs nearby. I mean, it's already hard enough right now with the way that, LGSs are run. And again, how you brought up, a lot of people don't really bother to buy from LGS because they look at it as, oh, I can save that $5 by going to the backpacker, or you know what, I can save maybe more by going on TCG Player and buying, the cards on the penny there. It's like, yeah, sure, like go ahead and buy them from there, but you're gonna wait your time. You might not even get the right cards. Sometimes that happens. We've had that happen before, and you're not necessarily supporting the community at that point. And if you want to play games, and if you want to, I mean, actually care and have a local to go to, and have a healthy market in your area, buying from your LGS is going to be, you know, it's going to be a good thing. Even though you might, like how Ken said earlier, we kind of laugh at it because we look at it like kind of differently. But it's one of those things of like, if you're really not going to help out the people that are giving you a spot to play at, and you want to, quote unquote, beat the market and, be, like how we would say, you're being cheap about it and you're not really helping out anybody. So it kind of sucks, but hopefully you guys just kind of take away that idea of, hey, if I need something, maybe instead of going to TCG Player or my backpacker right away, I could go to my LGS, see if they have anything, or even if it's like, you know, once a month. Maybe if you guys do that, maybe once every other month, or even when the set drops, just buy a box. Buy a box from your LGS, dude. It's not that hard. It's fun. You and your homies, you open it up, you guys hang out, have a good time. And oh, you know what? Maybe my shop needs to buy some stuff in. Maybe my shop wants to buy some expensive cards in. Oh, I pulled something kind of expensive. You know what? That card that you might not use in whatever deck that you have, you can sell it to your LGS and they can sell it for even more and they can make more money for you guys and have more, have the lights on longer, have more people there, have more events, it just all kind of translates into more and more things.
And
Crazy.
yeah, like that's honestly really good. And people would not care. People just want to care about themselves. And we're living in a greedy world where they don't care about, someone else keeping the lights on for them. And realistically speaking, right, most of these people are kids, they don't pay their own bills, they don't pay the electricity, they don't understand this. The
No.
most bills they probably understand is, oh, my car, my insurance, my gas, and whatever my credit card says. But
Yeah.
none of it is they care for someone else. They only care about themselves, and this is going to be the hardest thing for them to understand.
Yeah.
Now, moving from that though, right? Um, Not even just buying a box, like to support your LGS, just buy from them. Don't like this also includes TCG player, like those people that when you go on TCG player, they have ratings. Now, a
Mhm.
lot of people don't care about those ratings, but you need to understand that there's a difference between new accounts and number of sales versus a uh, certified hobby store or someone that has a gold star.
Yeah.
Now, gold stars, those are people that have sold constantly, they have zero refunds, they are reputable in their community, however, they're not considered an LGS.
Mm.
These people are just, oh, I've been on CCG Player for a while, I'm selling cards, and I am always selling cards no matter what. I'm not ever refunding, I don't care, I just want to make money.
Right.
These people, now they might be cool to you, they don't care about you, they just care about how much money they make.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at TCG Player once again, and instead they have a little kiosk, and when you hover over said kiosk, it says Certified Hobby Shop. Those people have a brick and mortar. They are a brick and mortar. They are your LGS. They may not be your LGS, but they are a shop. And what that means is when you buy from them, they are making money to keep the lights on for their community. They actually care for their community, which is why they're trying to be reputable.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between people that are on TCG Player and that have, the gold star or the kiosk symbol or nothing at all. Now, the people that, and this is how I gauge my prices, right? Like, this may come to a shocker, this may be hated by a lot of people, but this is how I do prices. I go to the most reputable person for pricing. So, for example, right now I'm looking at quick balls for Pokemon. I
Mhm.
see a person who has two listings for some reason at different prices. One price is 99 cents plus 99 cents shipping, so that would be a $2 purchase.
Mhm.
His next listing is 249 plus 99 cents, which is a $3.50 purchase. So I'd run out of four because I don't want to deal with coins.
Yeah.
And then after him is a person selling for $3 and a 99 cent shipping, which is $4. But they are just a gold star seller. I don't really trust those people. They are not really a brick and mortar that I would trust.
Right.
Now, most people would see the gold star and stop there. They'd be like, "Oh, $4 is easy." But if you look closer, the first person that has the kiosk, the certified hobby store symbol, is selling it for 344 plus $3 shipping, so 650. So I would charge $7.
Yeah.
Now I say $7. Someone looks at the 99 cent post and say I'm batshit crazy, and I will look at you saying, "Cool, buy from this person. Here, I'll even open your TCG player for you. I'll add this one to your cart, and I'll say tell you to buy it."
Yeah.
If you want to argue with me saying, no, I don't want to buy it from there, I just want to buy it at this price, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go to that price. You can clearly buy it from there, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing. And people don't care. All they care is that, oh, a card's worth 99 cents. They don't even look at the shipping part. I want it for 99 cents.
Oh yeah.
And that's going to be the thing that will honestly hurt the community. And so far, and I'll be honest, with every card game, uh Vanguard, Digimon, Pokemon, like Yu-Gi-Oh. Communities are slowly dying out. Why? Not because people, are quote unquote overcharging your cards are too expensive or something of the sort, right? It's because people aren't willing to pay prices that their vendor or LGS says. They want someone that will give them the lowest price. They want someone that will give them the best deal. And a lot of these people have no loyalty to their seller. All they
No.
care about is, hey, who has the best deal? I'll go to you because you're giving me an extra $5 off my purchase. Hell, and this is me just stating an example. I know a person here, a vendor whose shop is near me, and they don't care. They will literally sell cards at $7, and all his customers know. But at the same time, all his customers are repeat customers because they are willing to pay the exaggerated price because they know that he will always have their card.
Yep.
He is up front and center. Hey, you want this? I got you, but you got to pay this price. And
Yeah.
these people, they will pay the price because they skip the waiting, they skip the look. All they give the guy is a list, and he comes up with the cards.
Yeah.
And this is what a good example is. This is what people should aim to have in their LGS. You have something
100%.
you want, pay the price, pay the look finder's fee.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to pay the finder's fee? Well, go find it. Because you ain't
Yeah.
finding it with me. You are not getting the price that you want with me unless you're
No.
willing to pay my price.
Yeah, and like I get like, you know, I used to be that kid where I would, I've made friends with vendors because I'm like, hey, why don't you lower your price to me? And a lot of them would just look at me and laugh and be like, dude, no. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But
I'm pretty sure
at
one of your
that,
best friends started that way too.
pretty much, yeah. That's why I'm like, that's why I like. It's funny, like I mean, it's it's not a bad thing to do it, but again, you have to be respectful. If you know that this person is a vendor, if you know that they have overhead to cover, I mean, just take that into account, you know? It doesn't take a genius to be like, "Dang, maybe this person isn't just buying cards. Like maybe this person also has to pay for things, you know?" And if you can do that, I mean, it's a good interaction and it's also if you start to become loyal to whatever vendor or whoever you start to buy from, you'd be surprised how much like in the long run, I mean, for one, you can save. And then for two, it's like whenever things come up or, say big tournaments. Oh, damn, I don't know who has these cards. Oh, you know what? Let me go to my vendor or my LGS or my friend, I know that they have the cards. I know that they're going to be ready and that they're going to be able to provide me with that stuff. So, I mean, it's just,
And I'll be honest,
food,
right?
food for
Like
thought right there.
when we first met Sebs, we were just
Mm,
player to player. We knew each other, but then when I started dipping into the selling game, into being a vendor,
yeah.
I kept all my friends that I met in my mind. However, I started filtering those friends out based on who was buying, who wasn't. And from there is when I found my true friends versus the people that said they were my friends or the
Yeah.
people that wanted something out of the quote unquote friendship because I'll be honest, like that list dropped to about half the people that should have been my friends, but all they cared about was whatever bonus they could get.
Oh yeah. And that's a, you know, I'm sure as a seller, I'm sure that's probably the most annoying thing like maybe for anybody because it's like once you can kind of see, when people really want to be like buddy buddy and come over and just like, "Oh, hey, what's going on, friend? Oh, hey, by the way, I need this list of all this stuff. Can you hook me up?" And it's kind of like, okay, did you come over here to actually say hi, or did you come over here just to try and get a discount?
Correct,
Because if you came over here
uh,
solely for a discount, like just leave.
correct, and there I can't tell you how many people come to
Oh
my
yeah,
booth daily saying, "Hey Ken, what's up? Oh, do you
yeah,
have this card?
yeah,
How much is it? Can you do this price?" No,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm not that kind of guy. You can
exactly.
just take your business elsewhere.
Mm,
And if you
yeah,
want to come back to me and say, but no one else has it, well, I'm sorry, but you're paying my price. And
mm,
because
yeah,
you told me that, I might add an extra dollar or two.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's probably the biggest thing for sure. Is like people just you got to learn. If you want to have friends that like vend, cool, but don't look at them as vendors. Just look at them as your friends. You don't have to. look at it to be like, oh, well, I know he's getting the case, and I know that she's getting, all these extra cards for this price, so maybe I can get a cool discount. Like, nah, dude, like, if you want your vendors to be your friends, then be their friends. If you want vendors to just be vendors, then just be straight up. Hey, do you have this? Yeah. Okay, well, it's this price. All right, I don't want to buy it. Okay, bye. And that's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be anything more or anything less, you know?
And so moving forward from there, right? Like I just wanna, I guess, touch up again on some topics.
Yeah.
So first topic, first thing is when you're dealing with the market, understand that if you're too late to buy a card because you said you wanted to wait, or you're too poor to buy the card, best option, don't.
Yeah.
Because more than likely you are actually just better off not buying the card, not playing the game, because you are just hurting everyone around you, including yourself, because you don't have the money.
Yeah.
And if you can't stay afloat and buy the cards, well, just focus on staying afloat before you even try buying the cards.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Second, understand the flow of the market. If the market is going up, then don't cry about it. Pay the price. Probably listen to the guy who said this is gonna go up, you should buy it now, and be smart.
Yeah.
Or if you're a competitive player, which I know they exist, and I've sold to them plenty of times, you don't competitive players don't care. They will just buy the card they need because they need to compete, they need to win. So if you want to blame people for cards going up, blame these people because they are willing to pay whatever price the card is at, even if it's hyped up. But moving forward from there, right? Your LGS, support your LGS. Like Seth said, buy a box, buy singles, buy from them.
Yeah.
Don't try to skimp out on 5, $10 because some random dude decided to say, "Hey, I can sell this card game because it's making money, and I'll sell it for cheap because I don't have overhead." Well, guess what? Remember, each time you're buying from your backpacker vendor friend who doesn't need to pay rent for a location, who doesn't need to pay the bills, or sorry, their utility bills of a location, they only need to pay their own bills.
Yeah.
You're hurting your LGS because eventually your LGS, because there's not enough money coming in, guess what? They're gonna pack up. And when they pack
Yeah.
up, you lose your location to play. So in the long run, the money you're all saving is money that will just go to a different hobby because you can't play this card game anymore, or you can't play this hobby anymore because there's no location to play because you're not supporting him. So understand that. And then lastly, when you're trying to sniff out these deals, right? Know who you're talking to for one,
Yeah.
because if you're just talking to them only when you need cards, and trust me, we remember, we're not stupid. We literally look at you saying, "You've only been here when you need cards. What do you
Yeah.
want?" Don't even say
Yeah.
friend. Like, what do
Exactly.
you want?
Yeah.
Um, you these people know that when you say, "Hey, this card is being sold for this much by a reputable seller. Can you do this much right now?" Or it was last sold at this much by a reputable seller. Can you do this much? Trust me, when you come up to me and say, "Hey, do you have these cards? How much?" And here's a list. I'm not even gonna ask for a price yet. And finally, when we get to the grand number, "Hey, it's $112. Can you do around 100?" Like, it sounds a lot better when you buy a lot and then ask for a good price
Yeah.
versus you
Honestly.
nitpick every single card. I'm gonna look at you. I'll probably put your list away, probably tear it up, put my cards back, sit my ass down, and say you can move on.
Yeah. Because
Like,
it's like you got to be cool about it. Or I mean, just think like put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like again, golden rule, man, golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If somebody came up to you as your vendor and just constantly only bugged you for deals, you're gonna get annoyed. You're gonna look at this person and be like, damn, they really only come to me because of this. They're not coming over. They're not talking to me. They're not, whatever. And like maybe some people might get upset by that. But it's like, dude, like just be honest. Like if you just want to buy cards, just go buy the fucking cards. You don't need to sit there and small talk and oh hey buddy buddy like da 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 da. Like no, dude, just get your shit and like have fun. Like
Like, I'll be
we're not.
honest, people that buy from me a lot, the constant uh customers, you can come buddy buddy all you want because I understand. Sometimes you come to me because you just want to talk. Sometimes you come to me when you want stuff. But
Yeah,
you're not only coming to me because you want stuff. You are splitting it between wanting stuff and actually being a friend.
yeah,
Like, I don't know if many of you have heard the saying, but it is very, very true. You keep business and friendship split. You never combine business and friendship.
yeah,
Like, it is the golden rule of business. And I'll be honest, people that don't know this end up crashing and burning. People that
yeah.
do know this, they're succeeding. So, guys, keep a open mind on this topic. But realistically speaking, the last and truthful rule: if you can't afford it and you're asking for deals because you want to be able to afford it, you're better off not trying to play this TCG or this hobby. You're better off
Yeah,
just not doing it and do something
yeah.
free.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah,
So
because if you know that you're playing a card game, it's like card games cost money, guys. Like, you know, like look at Magic. Magic has a rotating format. The only people that I see that play like that main rotating format are like doctors and like lawyers and shit.
yeah, they were where they have money,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
or they're
And
sponsored players. But hey, once again,
yeah.
money's from somewhere.
Yeah, money's from somewhere. Exactly.
So next week, guys, I am gonna be the next week's topic is gonna be a kind of I'm not gonna say vague, but it's gonna be a hard one, and hope that we don't need to delay it. But next week's topic is going to be how to build a community realistically, because when you hear it, a community is hard to come by, and a lot of people don't want to take the time. But if you can build a community, you can build your card game, and once again, your LGS will help you. They'll like it, and everyone benefits from it at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
All right, KCTCG, this is Ken and Sebs signing out.
There, guys.